Now, what exactly is the National Export Initiative? Now, it is something proposed by the U.S. President in last year. Actually, it's the first U.S. government-wide export promotion strategy, and unveiled in January last year during President Obama giving his State of the Union address. And he also signed an executive order in March last year. And why U.S. will set up such a program? The reason is before the NEI initiative, U.S. actually don't have such kind of all the time focus on promoting exports. And in fact, if you look at the numbers given by the Department of Commerce in the United States, you will realize only 1% of the U.S. companies are now or at that time engaged in export business, which is a pretty scanty number. And even for those who are engaged in export business, okay, more than half of them export only to one market next door, which is Canada. So actually, U.S. the export community is actually rather concentrated. Their market is not that diversified to make it perform resiliently during the global financial crisis. But what exactly are the objectives under the initiative? President Obama set a rather aggressive objective, which he wants or he plans to double U.S. exports in 5-year times, which is by the end of 2014. The U.S. exports will be double that of the number in 2009, and in doing so, okay, the process will create more than 2 million jobs in the United States. So what are the components actually? First of all, Obama would like to improve trade activities and export promotion efforts. So more trade shows, more trade missions and trade events across the group to promote U.S. exports. And increase access to finance. That means it will give more easy credit or easier backing for U.S. companies, especially those small, medium-sized companies, to start up their export business to explore new markets. And also, U.S. will enforce the U.S. trade rules, and they're trying to do more trade promotion and trade negotiation across the group. So you can see how U.S. is doing their strategy or building up their trading business, okay, in Asia during the recent APEC summit. And also, it will pursue policy at the global level to promote strong and sustainable and balanced growth in the country. And you can see, actually, China is for sure one of the priority markets under that initiative. And if you look at the list of top major markets of U.S. export, you will realize that both China, the mainland China, Hong Kong, and Taiwan are among the top 15. And actually, under the National Export Initiative, U.S. has chosen 6 countries or 6 economies to be their priority markets, which are China, Indonesia, Thailand, India, Taiwan, and Vietnam. So you can see during the course of the last and the first 3 quarters of this year, you will see that actually the export growth to these markets are quite encouraging, especially to China. Okay, last year, okay, U.S. export to China grew some 32%, and this year for the first 3 quarters, it grew some 80%, and also to Thailand and to Vietnam. So what are the results so far? Okay, if we look at the results, you can see that in 2010, last year, U.S. export, okay, overall grew by around 70%. And U.S. export actually would have to grow at an annual average of some 40% during the period till 2014 to to achieve the goal of doubling exports in 5 years. So this, last year, it achieved more than the target of 40%. So it ended up with some 70%. So if you look at the figure for the first 9 months of this year, you will see that actually U.S. exports is still growing at a pretty high and fast rate so far, which is 18% for the first 3 quarters. So how is the initiative related to Hong Kong? Why Hong Kong has a role to play? So actually, if we look at the U.S.-Hong Kong economic ties, you will understand actually U.S. is always one of our top export markets and import markets. So you can see that total trade between the two economies, reached some 51 billion US dollars in the first 9 months of this year. And actually, U.S. is our second largest export market, behind only the Chinese mainland. And in terms of imports, U.S. is our 5th largest sources. And also in terms of foreign direct investment, and many U.S. companies have chosen to set up their regional headquarters in Hong Kong and to oversee their operation in the Asian and mainland regions. And we can see that there are more than 1,300 companies representing U.S. corporate interests right now operating in Hong Kong. So we can see actually Hong Kong and U.S. are having very close economic ties. So that's why Hong Kong will for sure have a role to play under the National Export Initiative when the U.S. would like to open up the Asian market. And of course, apart from those software and hardware, Hong Kong has some very unrivaled advantage over other countries in the region. So we have a very ideal location. We can all of Asia's key markets can be reached from Hong Kong within 4 hours. So actually, for all the 6 markets, the priority markets under the initiative can be reached within 4 hours from Hong Kong. So it's very much an unrivaled advantage. And actually, to further facilitate the Hong Kong's role under the National Export Initiative of the United States, Hong Kong has signed an agreement with the U.S., which is called the Pacific Bridge Initiative. So under that initiative, this is signed with TTC and the U.S. Department of Commerce. And under that, this will encourage U.S. companies to make use of Hong Kong when they would like to tap into the Asian markets, especially the Chinese mainland. And we have signed a statement of intent last November in last year. And these will be the priority sectors in the Pacific Bridge Initiative. That means we will focus on these 9 different categories to promote U.S. exports to Asia. We will, as a platform for the U.S. companies, to open up market in Asia. Mainly focusing on these 9 different types of industries and services. And of course, we have a lot of activities going on, both this year and next year. And today we will also have some. Of course, we know that there are lots of U.S. companies. They are already working here in Hong Kong. There are actually many success stories which we can convince our U.S. counterparts that Hong Kong is actually an ideal location for them to open up the Asian markets. And we have this company from the U.S. actually is the largest wine trading companies in the United States, and they've used Hong Kong as one of their regional platform to open up the Asian markets. And we have logistic companies from the United States which say that they would consider having only their headquarters nowhere else other than Hong Kong. And we have a consulting company from the U.S. we have the GIA, which is related to the jewelry business. And this global eco-resource are related to some recycling business and services. And green tech automotive. And actually, we are honored to have the CEO of my car, of Yu Auto Technology, Ms. Zhong, here today with us, where she is going to tell us more about her company and how the development of her company is going on. And also finance company, of course, and also arts and design. So we can see that actually U.S. companies are having a lot of different business and activities here in Hong Kong. So we are proud of being here to be of assistance to any U.S. company who are interested in using Hong Kong as a platform. And as a Hong Kong TDC, we have 11 offices on the mainland and a total of 41 around the group. So we are ready to help no matter where overseas company would like to use us or to rely on us to expand their businesses, especially in Asia. So thank you very much for enduring with me. So I better, without further ado, may I invite pass the floor to Ms. Cindy Zhong of Yu Auto Technology to share with us her company's success experience of partnering with a U.S. company. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me to welcome to the stage Ms. Zhong.